Hey guys, what's going on? Dante here. So today I'm going to talk about, do you actually need down payment when it comes to getting approved on a car loan? That's everyone's big fear when it comes to getting a car. Oh, I don't know if I have the down payment for it. Da, 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 da. It's a yes and a no. It's a case by case situation ultimately. That's one of the last questions I ask before I ask if people want to see what they qualify for. Um, the reason being is I just want to kind of have a better sense of how we're going to navigate the deal. Obviously, I ask it before we get an approval, but when I get the approval, sometimes we might not need it. A lot of the times, my customers, they don't put anything really more than like 500 on average to like max 2,000. Like I rarely get customers going higher than this. And I'm not here to try to take everybody's down payment. Everyone has such a bad rap on down payment. They think that, okay, that's going straight into my pocket. That's not how we get paid. Basically, the bank, they send us an amount of financing, right? And your down payment is deducted from that. So it doesn't go into our pockets. It goes towards your loan. But down payment, people think some things I want to clear up with down payment first is that people think it's going to help you get a better chance of getting approved. This has nothing to do with getting approved. There's some banks where you can just submit a structure and skip the pre approval and go straight to the approval. But people think that putting more of a down payment is going to get you a better chance of getting approved. But I'm coming here to tell you guys it has nothing to do with that. If you have a bad credit score, you just have a bad credit score. Like it's very rare that just putting 10K down, even if you have like a 400 with a couple of repos, is not really going to do much for us. That's why when I say like it's important, but it's not important. Down payment before the pre-approval, it has no effect. It has no effect. That is not going to change. It's not going to change your chances of getting a pre-approval because we're just submitting the basic information. We're submitting employer information. They're going to obviously see your credit. When we send them to the bank, they're going to pull your credit. They're going to do a hard credit check. It has no difference really on are you going to get a pre-approval or not. Now afterwards, once income's done, getting verified, that is when down payment kicks in. And this is going to depend on what kind of vehicle you're looking for. If the bank gives us a certain amount of financing, 30K taxes in, and maybe you want a car for 26K, you're going to need to put some down payment. So down payment does become important at this point based on what car you're looking for. If you're looking for a super affordable car, then more than likely you're not going to have to put down too much down payment. But I'm talking about for people that are looking for the luxury vehicles, 30, 40K price and upwards. Most of the banks that I deal with, they top out at like 50 G's, 50 G's amount of financing. We rarely go higher than that. There's a couple of banks like Santander. I think IA Auto Finance goes over by like a couple G's. But for the most part, most of the subprime banks don't go over 50K. So if you want to get into those luxury cars, then we're going to have to consider down payment. Now, another thing that down payment helps with is it actually gets us better overall approvals. So when your income's already verified, or maybe you got a no proof of income required, so income waived, if you get like also income waived, which is always good, basically, um, it's going to help us probably get a better approval depending on that bank. So what that means is there's a bank called Lemcare. Okay. Now, you might not know them, you might know them. Basically, I don't know if they're still doing it. I have to double check. I don't really do a lot of deals with them anymore. I try not to because they're very slow. Nah, moving fast out here. But if you put 3K down payment, after your income gets approved, you can get a lower rate. They will drop your rate by 3%. You have to still get, I have to get, that's an exception that I'd have to get approved. But most times, as long as everything checks out, they will drop your rate by 3%. So let's say we send you there. Okay, cool. You got a 14.9 after all the exceptions, like after just like verification, income verification, all that stuff. You got 14%. If you put 3K down, the bank will re-review it to drop you to 11%. So there's different banks that have different rewards, I guess, for putting down more down payment. It does help you with some banks. Not every bank, it doesn't really make a difference, but with LendCare, I know they do have this 3K down payment. I still gotta double check. I don't know if they stopped, but they were doing this for a while. Now other banks, they kind of have something where I was talking about, like if you put money down before you get pre-approved, you could possibly get an income waived before, like, what's it called? Like, how to explain it? Like you can get an income waived even if, what's it called? You maybe might need income required at first. So basically, let me explain it like this. So there's this other bank, okay, Northlake. I also don't really do a lot of deals with them because they have this GPS thing. It's just annoying. It just doesn't. It's not sauce. But anyways, basically, how their programs work. Some of them, I think it's for the gold programs or higher. Every bank has different programs. So the gold program or higher, if you put a certain amount of down payment, even if they're asking for income, well, they're always gonna ask for income. They never really just send a pre-approval income waive. They're different. That's what I'm saying. Every bank is different. I could make videos about how certain banks work in the future because like I don't have anything to hide, bro. I don't care. Like you guys are gonna see the bank. You're gonna research the bank. So I might as well just tell you what you can do to get a better chance of getting approved at a bank, right? Especially if you haven't been sent there, you might be watching this being like, oh, I got sent to all these banks. Nobody approved me, but then they're like, oh, there's these other banks and I can approve you with them. Ski. But anyways, the gold program, if you put a certain amount, if you structure in a vehicle, so if you actually structure in a vehicle, you skip like sending an income. If you structure in a vehicle, it depends also on the vehicle and the black book value and how it books with the bank. It's like Jenga, bro. You gotta like pull out stuff, put stuff in. It's like a headache. You put a vehicle in, depending on the vehicle, you can get income waived, which is annoying because then you gotta kind of guess what kind of car is gonna book with that bank. So you have to. It's like I'm playing like Russian roulette on a car. Like I don't have time for that, bro. These reps, they don't even know what cars. They're like, oh, we just, I'm like, how you guys want me to do deals with you? And you guys don't even know what cars are gonna book to get income waived. But that's another example of how down payment could help you actually get income waived. So maybe you guys get paid by a check or something or whatever, and we need to get an income waived. This could be a possible route. I don't really bank on these guys though. I know which banks I can send people to get income waived based on their credit because I've been doing this for a while. But I don't really dabble with this. But this is just an example I'm giving on how down payment could help you before it comes to income verification. In the case your income situation is a little bit complicated. That's basically what I was trying to explain. Now, another way that down payment helps, like I said, is just kind of helping us fit everything into the loan. So lowering the rate, it helps. Getting an income waive maybe when we need it before an actual like income verification, and then also just making everything fit in. So there might be a car you need, and it's like, okay, we've maxed out our financing. You maxed out your monthly payment that the bank's giving us. Everything is maxed out. So the only way to make it fit within those guidelines is by putting the down payment. That's when you actually got to consider it. Like if we can get the car done for you zero down, I don't really care. We'll get it done zero down. Like it has really no difference. It has no effect on, like, it just doesn't make any difference for me. You're getting a car, cool. You want zero down, no problem. Like it doesn't. I don't take it personal. But if you have maxed out financing or monthly pay, it's going over maybe the monthly payment a little bit. Putting the down payment will make everything fit into the approval. Now, like there's other exceptions that you can get done. I've made a reel about it where it's like you can get term stretches where you can stretch out the term to make everything fit. But sometimes if you don't want to stretch the term, you got to put down payment. So if you want to keep that short term, but still make sure all the numbers fit within the bank's guidelines and get the car you want, you got to put that down payment. I had to put down payment for my car, so that was the only way to make it fit, bro. They weren't Banks weren't like, yo, we're not giving you this fat amount, bro. Got to put some payment down. So I put some down payment, but that is another way that down payment helps us out. But I have a lot of customers that don't have to worry about any of this. The banks give them enough of financing to fit the car they're looking for. And realistically, in subprime bad credit, nobody's really getting cars over like realistically 25 grand for the most part. Like my sweet spot has honestly been like 10 to 25 grand for the most part, which is fine. But a lot of these banks, they don't really give anything more than like 50,000. The banks that I work with on a regular basis, they don't go over like 50,000. Some don't go over 35, no matter what interest rate. Like it's so intricate and so like complicated to explain in one video, but I kind of just want to just ease into it so that if you're watching the videos consistently, you're learning stuff about okay, cool, this is how it works. Is like, just so it makes it easier for the both of us, and you don't have any concerns about oh, why is this guy want my down payment? Is he trying to rob me? Like everyone has such a bad rep on dealers. I'm really just trying to clear the air. Like of course, yes, it's business. People have to make money, but if you guys kind of have a better understanding of why you might need down payment or why we might need down payment, it just makes things easier for the both of us, right? Knowledge and clarity brings relief and no skepticism or less skepticism, if anything. So that's kind of like a short summary of why we would need down payment and why I always ask the question. Sometimes I forget. So if I'm ever working with you, it's one of the first couple of things I ask. And by the time we get to the point where income's verified, I might forget. So I usually ask a second time because I forget. And also, people's situation change. Maybe when I started working the deal, they had it. Next time, they don't have it. And that's another thing that people are very concerned about. Like, oh, what if I don't have it off rip, like immediately? We we're gonna take your word that you're gonna put down payment. Like most people are not gonna lie about putting down payment. It just doesn't make any sense. It's like there's no point of you coming here to flex on me. Like I'm just trying to get you a car. I'm not gonna judge you. I'm not like you know what I mean. Like there's no point of lying about oh I'm putting this down payment and you can't put the down payment because one we're losing like we're losing that. We're losing that, right? And on top of that, it just doesn't make any sense. Like if you can't put it, then just tell me you can't put it. We'll adjust. It's not here. It's not a game of torturing. A lot of people think it's a game of torturing, and it's our way or the highway. Like no, we want to make it work for the customer. We want you to be comfortable with the decision that you made, and make sure like you're financially capable of making the payments. So we don't want you to overextend yourself. If you know you can't, it doesn't make any sense. Just tell the truth. And we usually just have customers bring it on the same day because we know sometimes people got to move funds around. You got to ask someone for this or whatever, or maybe you're waiting for some pay to come in or some money. Like we're flexible. It's not like, okay, you signed today, give me everything today. No, like, it's not like that. Even franchise dealers, like I remember I tried to get a lease and like they're like, okay, I put this down today and then put a small deposit, but I had to put a bigger amount, right? If it was like $500, like I don't think they're gonna like press me for $500. Like, oh, I need 250 today. It's like, and I used to be like that, but it's like unless it's a bigger amount, like if you're putting 3, 4, 5K, okay, yeah, maybe we'll take about half or 1,000 or 2,500, just to know, okay, cool, we're locked in. Because usually, like you can't e transfer more than 3,000, and usually we take e transfer for our down payment. just to be on the safe side. We have POS machines. Um, cash, like ideally we like prefer e-transfer and POS because like we don't know where the cash is, bro. We don't know where the cash came from. I wasn't following you at the ATM, so that's what we prefer. You can even bring a bank draft. We're flexible, but e-transfer is the fastest, it's the easiest, most convenient. But that's kind of what the banks view down payment as and how it can help you and the different situations that I use it in so that people can understand when I ask the question, they know why I asked the question. Because it's not just random questions. Like all these questions I ask to qualify people and qualify, you if you're ever watching this and we work together, is so I know how to navigate our situation so we can get an approval. But hopefully you guys enjoyed that. Quick little education on down payment. I'm going to be talking about a lot more other stuff, just kind of going through the process, just certain concepts and things that I want you guys to understand when you're working with me. So it's just easier to, kind of go through the process as seamless as possible. But I'll see you guys in the next video. Thanks for watching. Take care.